Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. I don't know if this was a good idea. It's 29 degrees. A couple flakes are starting to fall. Wonder if this is all going to work. We're just going to do our best. That's what this message consists in. Hello, Christmas lover for life. Hello, Veronica. Hello, user. Got some leaves falling on my setup. Had a nice, clean setup that my key grip set up for me. Hello, JR. Hello, Linda Lou. Let's see. Got my gloves on. Tempted to go the double layer of warmth. Should I go side? Yeah, it kind of looks cool. Little side view. Hello, Linda Lou. Hello, JR. Hello, Sonia. Hello, G. Hello, Sean Slater. Hello, Joe Mama Knight. Beth, Let's All Talk podcast. Bible, Shirley. I wonder if Let's All Talk podcast wants to invite me onto their podcast and tell me what it is that is good about a podcast and what makes a podcast special, different from what I'm doing right now in front of you. Wouldn't that be fun? Hello, Everlasting Gloom, Tompkin. Thank you so much for liking the live. Lucretia, Laura, Joanne, User. I'm double streaming here again this morning, so bear with me. Again, I've been talking about it a lot. I've been playing around on social media. I've been doing this show, and I'll get to what this show is, for about 4.5 years. And only over the last, it's been a slow progression or a consistent progression moving towards doing it full time. And to do it full time, you can't just pop on live and say hi and wave your hands and hope things work out. There's a lot more to it and a lot more that we're diving into and trying to figure things out. And because of that, we're dual streaming to both YouTube and TikTok. Hello, YouTube audience, my small but mighty audience. And hello, TikTok audience, my large but also mighty audience. Thank you all for joining. And just for the record, if anyone likes my content, I'm trying to figure out what content resonates with an audience. If they like something I'm saying, or if you like this video or you like any of my shorts, please go ahead and click that like button, whether it be on YouTube or on TikTok, because it'll help me determine what the audience is really looking for. Good morning, Mark P. Good morning, Ashton. I'm sorry. It was Ashton Raslaf. Live with C Powers started following the live creator. I so appreciate it. Proud Papa says, I have major issues. You know what? You are so right, Proud Papa. I have triple major or major cubed issues, all caps. Hello, Cynthia Lewis. Proud Papa says, look at myself acting like a teenage girl. Again, all caps. Everyone has issues. Don't let them get to you. Brian, if you think Proud Papa's getting to me now with his all caps, as soon as I see all caps coming, I know those that are pointing fingers about issues probably have more issues coming back at them. I got a little bit of snow coming down on my computer today. I'm not sure the waterproofing that is in an Apple Macintosh computer, which I use necessarily to stream on YouTube while I'm talking on TikTok. And I so appreciate you guys. And Proud Papa P sitting down. Proud Papa does probably pee sitting down. He probably does. But anyway, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. Ashton Ratzelaff asks, what do I do for a living? I'm a full-time content creator, Ashton, believe it or not. I'm a full-time content creator. I was a realtor for 17 years. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. I was a realtor for 17 years. I went through a bunch of stuff the last few years. I was working at Super Target for about 7 months, just trying to figure out my next step and get me, not figure out my next step, but get me to my next step. And about 2 months ago, I said, hey, let's dive in and let's figure this out and let's crack the code. And although we haven't cracked the code, uh, although we haven't cracked the code, and for the record, a leaf just fell from the tree and landed in my coffee cup. Uh, but although we haven't cracked the code, we're working on it every day. And again, I talk about it a lot. It's a lot of fun to be learning things and have something you're excited about and have something you believe in. And I think I struggled with a lot of issues personally throughout my life because I was doing jobs or things I didn't really believe in. And it feels good to be pouring my heart and my soul into this because I think this matters and this is important. And it feels good to be doing it. But anyway, real quickly, because it's so cold out, it's 29 degrees. Julie Flanagan, who is up in the beautiful city of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, which is about 200 miles straight north of me, uh, says it's snowing there. And we're getting a flake or two here in Naperville. Brian, who's out in Aurora, said it's snowing there, and I think we got snow coming our way. But anyway, I think I just said this, but good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Tuesday morning. It is October 31st, which means it's Halloween. How am I able to keep things in perspective and positive? It's funny. I've been doing a lot of work, and you're starting to see snowflakes coming down. That's kind of fun. I've been doing a lot of work over the last few years, and I've gone through a lot of struggles. I quit drinking 2 years ago and smoking pot 2 years ago because I knew I wanted to feel a little better. For most of my life, I had dealt with anxiety and depression. I don't think I was happy with who I was because I was trying to be somebody else. And it's hard to be somebody else and be happy. I had two older brothers that I looked up to and a dad, and I was trying to kind of follow the way they went through their lives, and it didn't work for me. I'm a different person and have different skill sets and different wants and different desires and different beliefs in what is important. And um, yeah, so over the last couple of years, I've kind of started doing my own thing. And today, one of my own things is going live every morning at 8 o'clock and talking to an audience. I think God blesses us all with certain gifts, and I think I'm a good conversationalist. Teddy Kizzy said, did stop make alcohol make a difference? It made a huge difference. Made a huge difference. Made a huge difference. Made a huge difference. I sleep better. I feel better. Not every moment is perfect, but I don't struggle with anxiety or depression nearly as much. And it feels really good. I was thinking about it this morning as I was waking up, how good it felt to sleep to 6 o'clock and be in a nice warm bed and be comfortable and not have the yucky post-drinking feelings or the heart-racing feelings that I used to have all the time. I sleep so much better. I have dreams, both while I'm asleep and while I'm awake, that aren't induced by any drugs or alcohol, and it feels really good. And Dala, thank you, Tara. I asked, where am I from? I'm from Naperville, which is a town of about 150,000, about 35 miles west of Chicago. But anyway, I don't even know where we are in the introduction because people were asking some important questions. But anyway, this is a show I've done a while. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some experiences. It is a show about me sharing a little bit about life, sharing a little bit about the weather, sharing a little bit about Naperville, sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we all have. But for those that have been watching a while, For those that have been watching a while, you also know it is a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And I got to look down in my cup, make sure there's no leaf residue floating in my coffee. Oh, I think it'd just give it a little more flavor. I'm a big believer in God made dirt, dirt don't hurt. I have two little babies who throw various chunks of food on the floor all the time. Let me tell you, if it looks good, I'll just scoop it up, and eat it myself. Pop-Tarts, for instance. Occasionally I break my own rules. There's certain rules that I don't think apply to the 5-second rule. Certain foods, like pudding, for instance. If a glop of pudding falls on the floor, it doesn't get 5 seconds. But a slice of orange may or may not get the 5-second rule. What if I could choose one word that describes a recurring theme in my life? What would it be? Progress, smiles. Those are two words, and they're two different words. Hey, we get a little bananas. Yeah, bananas don't get a 5-second rule. Sorry, I was talking to somebody over on YouTube. Brian said I should run for mayor of Naperville. Linda Lou says that's what dogs are for, falling on the floor. I agree. That is what dogs are for. We have a dog. It's tough because when the dog, I hate calling her the dog because she's a sweet little thing. Good morning, Robert Montgomery. What was the process that worked best for anxiety, depression? I wish can you hold these questions? Can you hold these questions just for a minute? For those that have been watching a while, and for anybody that's liking this content, please hit like, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok, because I want to know what type of content you guys like me to talk about. And one of the ways we do it is by keeping track of what videos are liked and what videos aren't liked. We were going through some of the analytics, and I'm getting further and further away from my cup of coffee, and I hate when I do that, but I can't help it. We were going through the analytics this morning and looking up videos that have gotten a ton of likes on various social media platforms, and some of them surprised me, to be honest. Good morning, Yvonne, from the farm in North Carolina. But anyway, let me get to my coffee because it's 39 degrees. The leaves are coming down. There's some snowflakes occasionally mixed in with the leaves. It's Halloween, and I've got a very Halloween-flavored cup of coffee in my hand, keeping me warm right now. But anyway, my hope is that wherever you guys are, whatever you're doing, that you too have a hot cup of coffee in front of you on this Halloween morning. Cheers to us. Probably been 25 minutes since my last sip. Doesn't make this sip quite as good as the very first sip I have every morning. But I'll tell you what, if you take a break from the coffee, probably if you take a break from anything and you get back to it, it feels really, really, really good. Good morning, Joey Driscoll Fit. Good morning. There's plenty of room on the Big Blue Detroit Lions bandwagon for you to join. Alex Karras would be proud of you, Dala. Hey, Kate 4.7, thank you so much for following the live creator. I'd like Ken to review the espresso blend. I don't ever know if I've had the espresso blend. I make fun of the word espresso. I didn't even know what espresso was. For a guy that has a coffee show, you'd think I'm more of an expert. Hey, Sandra Lynn's over on YouTube. Thank you over there, Sandra Lynn. I appreciate you. And she's doubled. I don't know how she's doing it on both. JK, who's a huge fan of Heckle, thinks I should, you would like it if you are a dark roast fan. Okay, the espresso, I make fun of it a little bit, and I'm sorry, I just don't know anything. I mean, I know I like pumpkin spice. I know nothing. And so I know a couple things, too, that I like pumpkin spice, and I don't know anything. But I really don't know that much about coffee. I'm learning. I'm learning a sip at a time. And but I don't really know what espresso is. It's a funny little word. It's hard to not say it without like a lisp. Espresso. I assumed it was a sign of some wimpy little coffee where you held your pinky up. And I say that with all respect, because anyone, I drink a lot of water and obviously a lot of coffee. Oftentimes I'll throw a pinky up, no matter what I'm drinking out of. It doesn't have to be like I don't know, some fine glass. I like to drink my water like this. Even if out of a plastic cup. Um, I understand, Sandra Lynn. Even if out of a plastic cup, it shows how classy and distinguished I am by throwing my pinky up. Where am I? I'm in Naperville, Illinois, Texas heart doctor. Appreciate you hopping on. I like to think that we have the smartest audience, the highest IQ of any audience on social media. So if you're really a heart doctor, you're going to fit right in. We've got a lot of geniuses here that like a really quality content. Texas Heart Doctor's in Austin. My brother lives in Austin, Texas. 45 degrees is pretty chilly for Austin on a Halloween day, I would imagine. Do I like pinky promises? No. Huh. On YouTube's talking to me. Love my work. Hey, well, I appreciate that. I hope you subscribe and like my page, and I appreciate all the likes you're giving me over there. Heart Hospital is your practice. My father-in-law has been in ICU since Friday. I'm sorry to hear that, RJ. Did I ever live in Chicago or just the burbs? JK wants to know. Okay, well, that's a topic I can touch on. I lived in Chicago from roughly 1990 to 2002. I graduated college. I went to the University of Illinois and graduated in 1990. I followed my brother's footsteps and got into a stock brokerage trainee program with Lehman Brothers. And it's called I call it a trainee program because it makes it sound very classy, kind of like my pinky being up. But reality, it was just, the real title was I was a caller or a dialer. And what I would do all day is dial homes or businesses and try and get through the secretary or through the wife and invariably and talk to the man of the house because we didn't, the brokers, if anyone's seen the movie Boiler Room, so much of that is so true. And if you've seen Boiler Room, you'll know what I kind of did, and a lot of what I did. And we would get through the wives or the secretaries or whatever and try and reach the doctors or the husbands or hopefully the guys that weren't afraid to gamble and could get persuaded to take a crazy risk on a stock that they'd never heard of. And I think at the end of the day, we thought women were too smart or practical or what have you to be excited by the stories we were spinning over the phone. And anyway, I did that. I started doing that in 1990. I lived in an area of Chicago called Lincoln Park for a bunch of years, and moved around the city of Chicago and loved it and felt it was home. I lived in the Gold Coast, lived in some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful places in the city with beautiful views of Chicago, which is one of the prettiest cities in the world. And I'd almost say I miss it. It was a crazy time. It was a crazy, crazy, crazy time. But life's more peaceful now and a little quieter now and a little better now. It was fun, and I wouldn't take it back, but it was a crazy, crazy time, although I like my life better now. So let's drink a little more coffee. Hey, I see Abby's dad has joined over on TikTok. Maybe he's getting ready for his early morning nap. Have you been to the new Starbucks on Ogden in Chicago? Just saw it yesterday. Sandra Lynn, no, I have not. But my Ohio Lindsay said she appreciates the perspective she's gotten living in places outside her comfort zone. Yeah, I look back on it, and there are huge memories in my life, the areas I've lived that aren't the western suburbs. But even the homes I've lived in the western suburbs are different. Again, Sandra Lynn asked about the What did you do after Lehman? Teddy Kizzy wants to know. Well, I worked my way up. After you, as a stockbroker, in the trainee program at Lehman Brothers, I was a dialer, and that was a hellish job. And I graduated with a finance degree from the University of Illinois and had various job opportunities. But I saw my brothers making really, really big money doing what they were doing. Do I have a leaf on my hat? You guys are supposed to tell me about things like that. Uh, but anyway, I took a job instead of a real career job that they offer kids that graduated with a finance degree from U of I. I took a job again as a dialer, and I was making $5 an hour, which seemed kind of funny because it wasn't much. But we'd wear a tie, and we'd go into an office, and we'd sit at a phone, and we'd dial the phone all day, and it was doot, 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 doot. Fortunately, it wasn't this dialing, the the rotary dial. We'd progressed with technology, but we were still hand dialing it and holding a phone to our ear, and it was a hellish job because all we do is try and get through uh, again secretaries all day, and we'd make I don't even know a jillion calls a day. Slight exaggeration, but it was a whole lot of calls a day, and face a ton of rejection because we couldn't get the guy on the phone. But anyway, I got my license. I became a licensed broker, Series 7 and 63 license. Switched to a company called Gruntal, Gruntal, which no longer exists. But they were a smaller company that had been on Wall Street a long, long time. But it was just the same thing, different office, calling wealthy people, seeing if we could get them to send us 10 grand over the phone to buy a stock they'd never heard of, hoping that it went up a lot. And we sold adrenaline, we sold excitement, we sold risk, we sold, sex appeal, and we ended up, it was a soulless job for me, and I've talked about this a fair amount, because although we'd make a lot of money, and I don't know, in 1992, I remember was my first pretty good year, big year, and as a broker, I made like $169,000. And again, 2 years before, I was making $5 an hour, so that was a pretty good pay increase in 2 years. And I was 24 years old, making 170 grand, going, what the heck? No kids to pay for, no, house, no wife, renting an apartment, and rent was cheaper back then. I was paying, I don't know, $1,200 for a beautiful apartment back then, and had more money than I knew what to do with. So we did what any 24-year-old man would do. We pissed it away on fancy cars and booze and gambling. Yeah. But anyway, worked in the brokerage business for about 8 years till 2000. Was tired of it then. Became a day trader, which was very fashionable to do back then because the stock market was really about to take off. It was the dot-com boom and bust. And in 1999, if you came out with a company, were an initial public offering of a company that was, I don't know, watercups.com, and you were going to sell water cups online, Wall Street would give you $1 billion evaluation without any fundamentals. And every company in the world, there was a pets.com. That's when also some big companies came out, Amazon, eBay, some companies that are still Google, some companies that are still with us today. So the strongest survive, but there were, for every eBay or Amazon or Google, there was, I don't know, probably 5,000 totally worthless companies that would, in the next 2 years, go up and then go away. But anyway, did that for a couple of years, floated around, tried to figure what I wanted to do when I grew up. I managed my dad's printing store in Villa Park. Yeah, Ohio Lindsay, it's fun. That's I think why Ohio Lindsay said my experience is so varied. I think that's what makes my show kind of fun. Makes my show kind of fun, and that I've had a lot of weird life experiences and a lot of real high highs and really low lows. I'm not thinking I'm cool for anything, because for every $100,000 car I paid for with cash, there's a bill I couldn't have paid. you know. So I've had a lot of high highs and a lot of high or low lows. So it's been kind of interesting. Uh, but anyway, in 2005, I became a realtor and was a realtor for 17 years. I wanted to run my own business, and that's what real estate is. But I never really believed in myself or really loved what I did or never thought I was providing any value or service to my clients. I think everybody knows 10 realtors, and a job of a realtor is to convince you, the home buying, selling, and buying public, to use me instead of your cousin or your sister-in-law or your best friend. And that just didn't feel very fulfilling. I feel at the end of the day, I'd get very big checks occasionally, but I never really felt good about what I was doing or loved what I was doing as a realtor. So over the last 4.5 years, I started Coffee with Ken 4.5 years ago when I was going through a really particularly hard time. I was still drinking and smoking at the time. About a month and a half after I started my first Coffee with Ken show, I got my one and only DUI. And so I thought, I started this in June, and I was thinking, holy crap, I'm in a horrible place. I miss the woman of my dreams, my dog, my house. I'm living in a dark apartment. I'm lonely. I don't even like what I'm doing anymore. And the only thing I could do or think of doing to find any joy at that time was drinking and going to a casino on August 1st or August 2nd. And on the way home, I got pulled over. The flashing lights, the embarrassment, the sobriety test, the getting, I don't even know. I'm sure I was handcuffed, but it seems, I don't remember it specifically. In the back of the car, the getting fingerprints and pictures taken, and getting released, and having to go see a lawyer and call my dad and tell him I got a DUI, and just the shame and guilt uh, certainly wasn't one of the best days of my life. And I don't know, kept doing my show, kept trying to figure out things. Hello, Freddie over there on YouTube. Hello, RJ on YouTube. Freddie's watching from Kenya on YouTube. How cool is that? Hey, Freddie, if you do me a favor, click a like over there on YouTube. I use the likes to determine, what content resonates with the audience. But anyway, I kept doing my show, and one thing led to another, and one thing led to another, and over the last couple of years, my audience was growing on Coffee with Ken. And people were watching, and people were coming up to me on the street saying, hey, I appreciate you saying that, or I love what you do, or I love your honesty, or this or that, sending me messages. Because during the 4.5 years, I stopped drinking. I talked about my own drinking issues, my own anxiety, my own depression, my own struggles, my own financial successes and failures, my own relationship issues, my own fatherhood issues. And it seems my message of life is me. I think a lot of people struggle with their own issues. So my message resonated with an audience, and I started to see the value in doing this, and the difference I want to make in what I do. And again, the one theme I'll have for my two longest careers, being a stockbroker, which I was for about 10 years, and being a realtor, which I was for about 17 years, is I did not feel there was any true value that I was offering the world. And I'm 55 years old. I'd like to make a difference. I'd like to move the needle. I'd like to entertain, inspire, motivate, make a difference in people's lives. Hello, Dennis. And I think I can do it through Coffee with Ken. I'm getting seen by like 40 people right now on TikTok, and whatever, 5 to 10 over on YouTube, which doesn't sound like a big audience. But by the time I post these videos on various social media platforms, they get seen thousands and thousands of times. Occasionally I'll post a video, and it'll be, I posted one yesterday on TikTok, and it's been seen about 10,000 times already. And God blessed me with an ability to talk and laugh and be open and be honest Hey, thank you, Andrew. Andrew says I don't look a day over 53. Well, maybe I'll just show you that. Maybe I'll just show you that. If Andrew is new to the page, it's too cold to show you that. You guys are right. We do have snowflakes coming down. Woo! I need my I need makeup to come and fix my hat. Andrew just aged me. I'm gonna have to get in and end the show fairly soon. But I'm having fun, and I'm hoping inside we have a nice hot cup or pot of coffee being made. In my mind, my wife's in there reining in the babies, and do I want to talk about my babies? What just happened? I pitched this. You can buy this on a link to my bio. I'm not sure what just happened. Oh, my pot's not broken. That's going to be horrible for sales. But they say there's no such thing as bad press. So if you want to buy this pot whose bottom just fell out, I'll have to investigate that later. Andrew wants to know how long I've been married. I envy my attitude, Chicago guy. Staying positive isn't easy. Hello, Dennis. It's 32 there. Hello, relax. Yeah, no, and I haven't always stayed positive, Chicago guy. I haven't always stayed positive. That's why this show started. I was feeling so crappy, and I had such a negative image and was so struggling with anxiety and depression. And one day I forget what I was doing. I was either in my apartment or going for a walk, and I just remember hearing my voice, in the inner voice in my head going, "You're a loser, you suck, you're ugly, people hate you. No, you're worthless," you know. And I'm going, wow, that can't be very good to be thinking that about yourself. And that day or that week, I popped on some positive affirmations, and this sounds silly, on YouTube. And some guy named Alexander, who talked like this, said, "Your smile lights up a room. You bring joy to those you come across. You are valuable to the world." And as I was going for a walk, or I started going, my smile does light up a room. I am a worthwhile person. I do bring value. I do make people feel good. And so I'll tell you what, if you're out there struggling, look up positive affirmations. And whether you're driving in your car or you're going to bed at night, listen to them. Because there's a bunch of other things I did, but the first step I took before prayer or faith or spirituality or even giving up drinking and drugs was positive affirmations. And they helped turn my attitude around almost immediately. And I do think you can almost brainwash yourself with them. And I'll tell you what, it's a good investment in time. Next time you're sitting in the car, and, I know for me, most of my life, I'd be sitting in the car pushing radio stations or switching looking for a different song, a song I really liked. And what you don't know while you're doing that, you're anxious because you're going, I don't like this song, or there's a commercial on, or let's find a better song, or, I've heard this song too much. And all of those things are getting your blood pressure going up. And if you just pop on some positive affirmations with some that usually are played over some relaxing music, you start almost getting in a trance, and the miles are clicking off, and you're hearing nice things about yourself, and you're hearing that you do matter, and that you do make a difference, and that your smile lights up a room, and that you two are important, and messages that I needed to hear, and maybe you guys need to hear. And your life starts getting peaceful. But it's not one thing, it's many things. It's many things. And again, at some point I started going to church and believing in a higher power, and I stopped drinking alcohol and doing drugs, and what else did I do? I started going to a gym about 2 months ago. I think that was just one more piece to the puzzle. Thank you, RJ, for saying that. One more piece of the puzzle. And there's other pieces to the puzzle, I still see a therapist. I saw one yesterday. And it helps. It helps because I think despite all the good steps in the middle of the night praying or listening to positive affirmations or this or that, there's still, life can be challenging. And Life can be challenging. JK wants to know if Coffee with Ken is trademarked. Not by me. Ryan, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much for saying that. You should open a traveling coffee shop. I don't think, despite all the suggestions, a lot of people say I should open my own brand of coffee or a breakfast joint or a coffee shop or what have you. I don't think my gift to the world is selling coffee necessarily. If I ever get big and famous from doing this show, and look at the snowflakes coming down, I'm going to have to take up a donation if my computer gets fried out because it's getting snowed on right now. I'll take up donations. Hey, help me buy another Macintosh. But anyway, I see. How do you do your taxes for this? JK, I don't want to discuss how I do my taxes, but I do appreciate your interest in my show. Hello, Track Days. Hello, Ezekiel. Hello, Jeep Girl. This is so fun. It's been a great show, and the time's ticked off very quickly. I don't know how long I've been talking, almost 40 minutes now. And it's Halloween. It is snow. It is snow. We're getting some snow coming down. It's Halloween. People wanted to know. Oh my gosh, it's really coming down now. Anyone see the movie The Shining? At the end of the movie, Jack Nicholson's frozen up in the maze that he couldn't find his way out of, and he's got snow all over him. That's going to be me. That's going to be me. Halloween, my favorite nostalgic candy. I mean, I like so many candies. And it's a problem. I'm glad it's Halloween because I discovered 3 nights ago that our candy was hidden in a drawer that I could almost reach to without getting out of bed. But I had to get out of bed. So I figure if I'm going to get out of bed, I'm not just going to take one. I'm going to take a big handful and I'd bring them back to bed and go. Rah, 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 rah. Butterfingers are delicious. I've discovered Baby Ruths are tasty. I love Three Musketeers. Almond Joys are probably the first thing I'd pick. Yeah, if I can scavenge through my kids' candy when they bring it home and dump it on the floor, I'd probably go after the Almond Joys before anything else. Ever had a 100 grand bar? I'm sure that I had. I may have even had one last night. Oh, Reese's peanut butter cups are delicious. Peanut M&Ms. If I'm going to go to a store and I'm going to get a huge bag of candy, it's going to be peanut M&Ms. I've done videos about that still get seen an amazing amount of times. I started out just getting the regular pack that you get a movie theater, and then you get the sharing size, and I realized that wasn't enough for me. Then I would get the family size bag. And pretty soon I was having to take out a mortgage to buy the party size bag of peanut M&Ms. And I realized as my weight went from 210 to as high as 225 over this year that I could eat a party size bag of peanut M&Ms in 3 sittings. And let me tell you, you got to really want the peanut M&Ms to eat them in 3 sittings because that's a lot of M&Ms. But you can so easily... Hello, Susie Cream Cheese. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining over there on YouTube. It's so fun when somebody hops on YouTube because that's a platform I think has probably got the longest term business potential. And hey, Julie Flanagan, thank you for tuning in today. Cheers to you up in Oshkosh. 994 till 110K. Tootsie Pops. Tootsie Rolls I got no use for, and Tootsie Pops I really have no use for, Ohio Lindsay. You were pushing some buttons with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and the other suggestions you were making, but I got no use for really hard candy or anything that's not chocolatey. I was sitting there, I was watching the movie The Mask last night, which I still think, I haven't seen it in its entirety, The Mask. But I was watching it with my oldest stepson, and we were watching a movie, the lights were off, and all of a sudden I heard this loud crunching sound. And I go, what are you eating over there? And he was eating a Tootsie Roll or Pop or whatever and just biting through it. And I go, those are meant to be sucked on or licked, aren't they? And I go, And about 10 minutes later, I'm hearing it again, and he went and got another one. It's rah, 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 crunching through another one. I would never. I mean, I would eat a Tootsie Pop if, I don't know. I mean, I'd never do that. I lost a molar once while chewing a Tootsie Roll. Yeah, no use for that. Good morning, Sarah Sandoval. What candy does Augie like? What does he like? I mean, what does he like? He likes Pop Tarts. He's had some Pop Tarts. That's not candy, I know. I think he would like anything that's soft and he could get his mouth mushed through. We don't give him hard candy. I don't know. We haven't given him a whole lot of candy. We'll see what he likes. We'll see what he doesn't like tonight, because I'll tell you what, Dada will eat it all up. Are your kids going trick-or-treating? Yes, they are, Lindsay. I don't know about the two older ones. I have my oldest stepson's 14. My stepdaughter is 12. I have two daughters who are 17 and 14, and I don't know if any four of those four are going trick-or-treating. My younger stepson is 9. He is going as Mask. What do they call it? The guy from Scream, the scary guy in Scream. He's got a black cape and the mask, although he can't wear a mask at school. And my two little ones, who are 2.5 and 1, Augie, whose favorite character on Sesame Street is the Cookie Monster, is going as the Cookie Monster. And my little daughter Eve is going as Elmo. And they're going to be the cutest little Cookie Monster and Elmo. And I can't wait to see them dressed up. And I mean, it's cold, so I don't know how long we're going to go trick-or-treating. We're going to go trick-or-treating long enough till we get some almond joys for Dada. But somebody asked where I'm at, because yes, it is snowing. I'm in Naperville, Illinois. Do I want your 20-pound turkey for Thanksgiving? Maybe. Maybe. Do we all live here? Yeah, my two older girls live with their mom in Oswego, and we have 5 kids here, so it's a pretty crowded house, and keeps it kind of chaotic but kind of fun, and chaotic and fun, so depending on the moment. But anyway, it's Halloween. No, the plows aren't out yet. We're just getting little sprinkles of snow, and we'll get the leaves falling. But look at this. What was the dandruff commercial? Selsun Blue? No, what was the dandruff commercial? Dandruff shampoo. I don't have any hair, so I don't have dandruff. But it looks like I've got a bad case of dandruff. I don't. Head and Shoulders. Thank you, Ohio Lindsay. Thank you. Like in the commercial, they go like this. It was kind of gross. It's kind of gross, actually. But that's what I'm trick or treat day. It's always so cold. Yeah, no, it is, Sandra Lynn. But I don't know. Cold's fun. Cold's fun. Halloween's fun. Thanksgiving's fun. Christmas is fun. Life is fun. But life's not perfect, and it wasn't meant to be. We all have our ups and downs. We all have our struggles. I think by realizing that we're all going through a certain amount of stuff, I think that is a good step in healing yourself. I think you got to forgive yourself of the crap you've done, and if you yelled at your kid yesterday, the best way to not do it again is forgive yourself your sin from yesterday. Because if you're still resenting yourself for yelling at your kid yesterday, you're probably more likely to yell at your kid today. So the sooner you let it go, the sooner you can move on and work forward in life. And again, life's not perfect, but we do our best. And we keep moving forward, and we keep trying to get a little better every day. And hopefully the path we're on is the right one. And if you're not on the right path for you, it's not too late, no matter where you are in life, to change it. Again, I've made some major career shifts in my life, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning and trying to get a little better every day. Good morning, Stacy, and good morning from Brazil. And yeah, feels good. So a little more coffee. Oh, I so appreciate you guys for joining. You mean a ton to me, for following Emma's story. I got to get inside and dry out my computer before it zaps out. But I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you're excited about your day. Uh, Hope you're living in the moment. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.